Hello there, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and children.
Hey, welcome. I'm sitting here confused. I'm in a blur. Not quite sure what the hell is happening. I don't really like the intro I have to this podcast was supposed to be lighthearted and just funny. I made that months ago. And not that World War III or all these things aren't imminent, but then I hate to look at it as I'm like speaking things into existence. Like that's not what I wanted. Cause like very plain and simple, I'll explain it. The first image, it's the first ever news It's ever the first ever news broadcast aired on television, live. I think it was like ABC News or something. And I tried to insert myself into it and make it look cool like it was about me. Screen cut to wild jazz music and hustle and bustle of the city, and then just the bliss and silence of nature. And as the drop of the pellet goes, that is a nuclear bomb going off. And then I have a scene from Pirates of the Caribbean where the head pirate of the Black Pearl just trudge onward, and that was my idea. Like no matter what, like the hustle and bustle, the silence, what the hell? What is that? Oh, that was hair. Like, just keep going. But this is crazy because nobody wants this right now. And if you haven't noticed, I hate to get political on this or even like have a stance, but I'm pretty sure this is pretty cut and dry, and everyone could probably share a similar point of view. And there's just so many things going on, but I feel like the other bullshit is distraction from this. And it's like Israel and Iran are at war again. And I'm going to find it and insert it into the video of, Netanyahu, who I believe is just Palpatine of our Earth. And George Lucas put this into existence in Star Wars long, long ago about the Republic and the Sith being at bats with each other and how they're all controlled by the Trade Federation and commercial trading and commercial infrastructure. They're all persuaded and funded by it. But then you got Palpatine, who's funding both sides of the war, making the Republic, fight, the other side, but they're also negating, resources and access to less, let's just say, useful planets and letting them get bombarded by, fucking stormtroopers and shit. And then you got these soloists in the middle who are technically just as bad, who are committing all these crimes. George Lucas had it fucking on a P, on a D, on a dime with that back in the day. And I've just realized that Palpatine is Netanyahu because he just keeps stating that Iran is going to have these nuclear warheads and that they're this close to being dominant. And I'm pretty sure, can't remember late night host. The fucking correct pop culture reference, terrible by me, just brainless aptitude. But he mentioned like Netanyahu's been saying they're going to have Iran is going to have nuclear warheads since 2015. Video here. Before I share this video of our general, our Lord General, I'm here in the same shirt, a bit sweatier and a bit later, just to share that I am going camping this weekend, and with all the imminent death and bombing that I hate to witness and see going on, I'd hate to see, in relation to my somehow predicted intro, I'm probably going to change it. The next one, not this one, just so it can make sense, so you can go back and look at it. But the next one, I feel like I'm going to change the name too, but I'm going camping this weekend, and I just really pray that I didn't, pinnacleize this thesis that I have with like Independence Day and like the guy driving back in the RV, like away from the meteor shower. Like, I just really hope that's not me this weekend. So wish me luck in that aspect. Here is our Lord and General. Here is the video of Lord Netanyahu stating that Iran has been 3 months away from nuclear warheads for 30 years, since 1995. So, is he lying? Is he poaching us into getting into this instance? Is he dangling the lure, that shiny lure in front of Donald Trump's big mouth bass face ass? That was good. Here we go.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a very short time. It could be a year, it could be within a few months.
They have the wherewithal, the stored up, preserved knowledge to make a bomb very quickly if they wanted to do it.
Iran is so dangerous. Weeks away from having the fissile material for an entire arsenal of nuclear bombs.
They're very close. They're 6 months away from being about 90% of having the enriched uranium for an atom bomb.
Iran is gearing up to produce 25 bombs, atomic bombs a year, 250 bombs in a decade.
Ladies and gentlemen, time is running out.
Iran will be capable of producing alone, without importing anything, nuclear bombs within 3 to 5 years.
If not stopped, Iran could produce a nuclear weapon in a
And supposedly we're supposed to have this anti-war president, you know, that's all about peace and prosperity and upgrading America. And then we're like, oh, let's just dip our hands in this. Like, George Washington was so clear when we made when we signed the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution and all of that. Like, we avoid foreign affairs. Like, these guys, Tim Dillon said it, these guys are in fucking caves. What are they? Are they really a threat? Are they really that big of a threat? Let them figure it the fuck out, man. Why do we gotta dip our hand in the honeypot all the fucking time? And this podcast be premature, and I made you sound like I'm fucking rambling and just spewing shit, and I'm just some unknowledgeable fucking 26-year-old that doesn't have any grasp of what the world really is. But this is just ridiculous, man. Like, I just think this is like the inability to turn the cheek. And the inability to just say, hey, you know what? No. Like, no is a powerful word. It's way more powerful than yes. And people need to learn when to say no. It's just history repeats itself. And it's just constantly errors and errors of people, of peace, and then war. And then you have the population of people who don't want the war and think it's dumb and we're fighting for no reason other than the reasons we fucking know. And, like, it brings me back to the movie. I just watched this movie with Zac Efron on Netflix. I think it was called The Longest Beer Run. And that was made during the Vietnam War. Like, where this guy just wants to give beer to the homies in Vietnam because everybody's like, yo, why are we fighting this war? This war is retarded. Why are we doing this? This is all just for XYZ. And, like, I'm not going to try to fucking make myself look dumb or try to stand on facts that I'm not knowledgeable right now. I'm not going to read from a paper and just say stuff about what the Vietnam War was fought over and what this is fought over. But we all know they're fought over the wrong reasons. Watch that war. Vietnam War is like the Kurt Cobain of wars. And this movie was good. It was just about Zac Efron delivering beers. So I don't know if, like, I could be the Zac Efron. I have a... This is just all connecting way too much. The shirt, the hat. I'm just going to fucking fly to Iran and give the bros some halal, or I'm gonna go to fucking Ukraine and give the dudes, you know, some fucking baklava or something. You know, pistachios are world renowned, dude. Americans love pistachios, and I bet you if I ran over to those war zones and was dishing out baklava, they'd make a movie about me. But I'm pretty sure the movie about Zac Efron was fictional. But yeah, this is just. I mean, I barely even want to talk about the topics because they all just fucking crisscross with this shit. And they're really not even that interesting, but I kind of just wanted to get off my chest how dumb this war is. And not even that it is a war right now, or that, I mean, it kind of is, but the fact that it's, like, snowballing like this, it's just, like, it's just so dumb. It's just so dumb. and all this stuff. I'm about to start talking about China and what the hell they're doing with drones and stuff. And like, that's just like not even part of this problem, which it kind of is, because all of these people that are at war, supposedly they've been like infiltrating their countries for years and setting up bases. And that's why they can like set up these internal drone attacks and these nighttime attacks and these attacks that pop up out of nowhere. And then like, we're just sitting here on snooze, just assuming that that would never happen to us. Yet all of the military bases in the United States are completely surrounded by farmland owned by Chinese government. But what do I know? They're not doing anything stupid. China doesn't have any malintentions and never has had malintentions with any of our IP or any of the inventions or any of the companies that we have. They have no malice towards us. Why would China want to attack the United States? Whatever. Yeah, keep letting them buy the farmland though, dude. They pay a pretty penny for that. In other words, let's see here. I don't have my camera up, but I don't really care. China's first drone mothership is set to fly June, and it's massive. This is a video of what it looks like. How is this not freaky? You don't think they know how to use this stuff? You don't think they've been plotting to use this stuff forever now? There I am. Here we are. Look at this shit. China's first aerial mothership, I'm not even going to try to say that, is scheduled for its maiden flight in June. The aircraft can carry over 100 small drones and 1,000 kilograms of missiles, which is a range of 7,000 kilometers. Designed to cruise at 15,000 meters at high altitude, Behemoth is a command hub for drone swarms, enhancing China's surveillance and strike capabilities. Beijing calls it defense asset for regional stability. The Chinese journalist, Li, says that China's military is peace-oriented from the start. Yeah, sure. According to Zexin, we grow stronger to deter aggression, unlike the U.S. always attacking other nations. So, I mean, that just sounds like a slight diss. And why would you be about peace and then make something as dominant and defenseful as this, and then, you know, subtweet us in this shit? Like, real cool. But I just don't get, you know, they show, like, animated versions of this and never the real, which I guess is settling. You know, it's a bit settling to see. Until, you know, the next video I show that I had pulled up, supposedly, just when you thought it was over, Chinese is reportedly capable of producing 500,000 first-person view FPV drones per month. The capacity to scale 700,000 during wartime. The People's Libertarian PLA has also already conducted 3 full-scale military exercises demonstrating the use of the extensive drone swarm capability. While these reports are likely heavily exaggerated, even 1/3 of this number would be formidable. Yeah, why would they not exaggerate? Yeah, why would you... okay, so that's the dumb assumption, to assume that it's less. You always assume that they're lying and it's way more. Like, first of all, China as an infrastructure, they just... there's a reason China is what it is because there are standards for infrastructure. I think I saw this on the Sean Ryan podcast. Somebody was talking specifically about their ships and barges, that they're all built to military grade and military standard. So that even during, like, say there is a time where everybody is, you know, boots on ground and we all got to do this real big World War deal. Like, China could take their commercial fleets and militarize them, unlike the United States, which couldn't put a fucking New York Long Island ferry in war. That thing would get pelted with 22s and sink on sight. So this is just some of the things, like, they just do that. Like, even the drones that regular humans get, like, or not regular humans, we're all regular humans, are we not? But, like, civilians get in China, I bet those are military grade. None of the stuff that we are getting is military grade. You have to go to, like a third-party gun show in mid-eastern Pennsylvania to get military grade equipment. I know, because I go and I buy that stuff. Not much of it, only what I can afford. But this is fucking freaky. Yeah, Chad, are we cooked? Yes. All right, let's wrap that one up. Oh, double cam. Yeah, so I just don't see Is this a national security issue for us? Are we supposed to be worried? What do we do in a drone attack? What do we do? Because supposedly these are all FPV wireless, and that's why they have the mothership. The difference between these drones and a lot of the drones in the Ukraine-Russian war is that those are all fiber optic ones, because they're being sent from home bases over to other countries, so they don't have the ability to put these from like a remote viewing station like they do in China, where they have like those giant hubs that can fly over wherever they're going to drop those drones. They have to drop fiber optic cable, which it's just creating like nets and nests of fiber optic cables all along these war zones. And like what you can do is you can essentially like put up blockers, or you can cut the fiber optic cable. You can do whatever. You can, do whatever you need to do to, deter the fiber optics. When something's FPV like this, what the fuck do you do, man? Supposedly, what I've heard is that the best defense towards these things is a shotgun. Yeah, if that thing's flying at you, just start shooting those orange discs. Start shooting buckshots, and just spraying drones with shotguns. That's what our national security advises. If a drone attack ensues, we suggest purchasing a shotgun and just having a blast. Yeah, but then we also kind of want to take away your Second Amendment though too. So, shit sucks. I don't know. Maybe I should go to something more lighthearted, because I'm just really not that passionate about the facts, I guess. But it's just, it's alarming that this is just common convo. But then I can't even talk about this with my friends, because if you do it in public, you look crazy. But to who though? To who? I mean, why? This is what's going on. Why would you not want to talk about this with your friends? What else are you going to talk about right now? TikTok trends? Are you going to talk about Kai Cenat and Streamer University? As cool and positive as that is, like that's the most positive thing going on right now is Kai Cenat. He's the most positive person. Like people come up to him and fucking say, "Hey, sok yamada," and he's just like, "Yeah, man, yeah, come on the stream, pop in, tap in, we live." He'll send him merch and just. Yeah, I don't know, man. Next topic. Yeah, ticks. Lyme disease. Watch out for walking your dogs and stuff. As outdoor activities begin to ramp up ahead of summer, Connecticut officials announced Tuesday that they confirmed the first U.S. case of invasive longhorn tick-carrying Ehrlichia chaffinensis, a bacteria capable of causing potentially deadly disease. Sick. Stay inside this summer. Doesn't this summer just sound so fun? Doesn't this summer just sound so safe and fun? You just want to travel the world. Do all the cool things that, we're supposedly supposed to do during summer. No. Stay inside, there's ticks. Stay inside, there's war. Buy a shotgun, stay inside, watch out for drones. I was golfing the other day and there was a drone flying above me and I was like, this is it. 16th hole, this is where I'm. You know what? If I die on a golf course due to a drone, I think I'd be okay with it. I don't think I'd be too upset. I think that would be pretty blissful. I would just ask that they would let me make my putt or finish the hole so I can at least put it on my scorecard so they can see, oh, this guy finishes what he started. Fuck. This is a little cooler though. I think this is actually way more. I think this is actually a positive in the U.S.'s regard. And there's not a... If you think I put the 2 Chinese nationals charged with smuggling potential agro-terrorism fungus into the U.S. after I talked about the drones and after I talked about a tick being invasive to the U.S., if you think I'm actually stringing Chinese nationalists to any of these crimes, and I think they did all of them, then you must be absurd. Because I would never do such a thing. I would never chronologically put these things in order and assume that they were all coming from China during a time like this when we would just so happen to be twiddling our thumbs worried about some other shit. And why they're slowly just up in the ante. Not to mention, as I completely go off on another tangent, that they're figuring out how to make their own Tesla batteries for their own electric car manufacturers when they're actually way closer to that during the times of the terrorists because America doesn't want to help them out anymore. So we're just going to make them create all their own Chinese businesses. So then the dollar is actually dwindled. But that I actually don't know shit about. So do your own research on that. Don't take my word for it. But this one I can read off a paper and tell you the truth. 2 Chinese nationals charged with smuggling dangerous fungus into U.S. They've been charged with allegedly smuggling the United States fungus called fusarianism and graminearism, whatever the fuck that means, or whatever the hell you say that, which is considered to be a potential weapon for agroterrorism. So essentially these guys were trying to get this fungus into like food manufacturing plants. So they would just like a Wonder Bread plant. So you put the fungus in there and all this shit's infected. I just said that like 3 times. So some 33-year-old guy and a 34-year-old guy, citizens of the People's Republic of China, were allegedly receiving Chinese government funding to do their research, for some of it at the University of Michigan. So I guess they were in America trying to smuggle it in. Interesting. The complaint also alleges that Jian's electronics contain information describing her membership in and loyalty to the Chinese Communist Party. What do you know? It further alleged that their boyfriend works at a Chinese university where they conduct research of the same pathogen, and that he first lied but then admitted to smuggling that fungus into America through the Detroit Metropolitan Airport so that he could conduct research in that laboratory where his girlfriend worked. Yeah, that's just all bullshit. Leave it up to fucking the boyfriend to smuggle it. Hey, we just wanted to research it. We wanted to smuggle this fungus from China because they only make it there to research it here at this one facility that just so happens to be really close to all of these, food manufacturing plants. Yeah. But, big ups to the TSA agents over there in Michigan or whoever is responsible for that. This is big ups to America. Having a good, strong filter on what's coming in and out of here. And that's scary, man. If you're telling me that's how easy it is to do things like that. I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at just the next point, which I'm just going to get to it. I'm done rambling about bullshit and my fake fears. Last thing on the TSA fungus. They stopped it from entering food manufacturing locations from Chinese subordinates. Could have wiped out 45% of the food supply if conducted successfully. So that was the big thing. And I'll try to share that article as well. But what I'm sharing here is that scientists in Florida created man-made lightning. Sick, man. So cool. I don't want to point the finger on who I think is controlling this weather, but Florida's a good place to vacation, so there's a lot of money there. And the reason I was laughing because Palpatine just popped up in the corner, which it's just like, this is the most full circle moment, which was, I thought this podcast was premature, but then it's just kind of connecting for me. Like Palpatine here controlling the lightning, Netanyahu being Palpatine, whatever, who controls the weather, ... But yeah, so scientists in Florida are generating lightning on demand by firing rockets into storm clouds. These rockets trail thin copper wire that acts as a lightning rod, guiding the electrical charge from the cloud to the ground at a controlled strike. The process lets researchers trigger lightning safely. Is that even a real sentence? The process lets researchers trigger lightning safely and study it up close? This technique is being used at the International Center for Lightning Research as testing at giving scientists a rare chance to observe lightning structure, energy, and compaction in real time. It's a bold step in understanding one's nature and most powerful force. Pretty sure this was... We know how this works. This isn't... I remember going to the Franklin Institute as a kid, and they had like a lightning simulator. They had like a whole storm simulator. They had a tornado simulator. They had a tsunami simulator. They had lightning simulators. They had all this stuff in the Franklin Institute. If they just let kids go to the fucking museum now and touch shit and just figure out science for themselves, take kids on field trips to fucking museums, this wouldn't be, oh yeah, we don't know about it. We do. A 15-year-old kid could figure out lightning if he fucking went to the Franklin Institute and saw that, oh yeah, boom, 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 water cycle, clouds, combustion, heat, high pressure system, low pressure system, pockets of hot gas and air. These gases are, it can be ignited in the air, and when, boom, 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 lightning. I'm not a fucking science major, but it doesn't take you firing a rocket with a copper rod into a cloud to figure out this doesn't even look like night lightning. Like, this looks like Zeus is casting a spell upon the coastline of Florida. Like, why are we trying to be like Zeus? He was such a bad influence. And we just want to take the good parts of him, of his power. Like, we never really see blessings alone. They always come with curses. You know, great power comes with great responsibility. Like, Zeus raped and pillaged. Like, that's how all of his sons and kids are born. All these Greek gods and stuff, they're all offspring of Zeus, of him being a man slut. And we just want to take the best part of him and use this. I just as of the latest update, the U.S. has officially banned citizens from 12 countries with a full entry ban, placed on a partial restrictions on another 7 countries, and a total of 19 countries currently under travel restrictions. The remaining nations you may have heard about were in a draft warning list of 43 or more, not fully banned, only warned they risk restrictions. Full entry ban: Afghanistan, Myanmar, Chad, Congo, Equatorial Guinea, Eritrea, Haiti, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen. Partial restrictions: Burundi, Cuba, Laos, Sierra Leone, Togo. I did a project on Togo as a kid. It's a really skinny country on the coastline, inner coastline of Africa. It's really pretty. Turkmenistan, Venezuela. Yeah, so that's about it. It's about 19 countries, so it's not 36, but I think it's probably wise, you know, if we're being so... If we're just going to do one thing, why not do everything? Just, if you're going to be the guy, be the guy. Don't half-step. Go all out. Enjoy your day, guys.